Time for another Man in Gray book review. Today's book is And Tango Makes Three by Justin Richardson and Peter Parnell with illustrations by Henry Cole. This book was published in 2005 by Simon & Schuster Books for Young Readers. It's 32 pages long. On one level, this is just a rather innocuous story about two male chin-strap penguins who raise a female chick. But it's one of the most controversial children's books of recent decades and one of the most banned books as well. This book has been in the news recently because the Nassau County School District in Florida ordered this book removed from the school's libraries along with 35 other books. They did so in a closed door meeting without holding public hearings or taking public input on it after this book was criticized by a conservative advocacy group. The two authors, Richardson and Parnell, sued the school district, saying that they were violating the students' First Amendment rights. And last week, in a out-of-court settlement, they agreed to put this book back in the library along with the other 35 books that they'd pulled, although there are some restrictions on some of the books as to who, when, and where they can be checked out. So, what's the big deal here? Okay, well, the whole story, this is actually based on a true story. In 2005, two male penguins, Silo and Roy, chin-strap penguins, who lived at the Central Park Zoo in New York, paired up. There was, I don't know, I think there was a bunch of, it was spring is when they were pairing up. And I think there was a shortage of females or something. Anyway, they paired up and they attempted to hatch a chick. Of course, they didn't have a chick. And so they found a rock that looked like a chick and tried to hatch it. In fact, I think there's an illustration in here of one of the penguins sitting on the rock. Yeah. And it didn't hatch. And, of course, that tells you something about the intelligence of penguins. Yeah, here they are. They formed a little rock nest, which is what chin-strap penguins do, and they sat on the rock, and, of course, nothing happened. But it turned out that one of the other penguin families had an extra egg that they couldn't they couldn't hatch. And so one of the zookeepers took the egg, the extra egg, and put it there for Silo and Roy to sit on, and they did. They sat on it and hatched it. And as we see here, a little female chick hatches out, and the zoo people named the female chick Tango. And then they raised the chick just like other pairs would do. They brought it food and so forth, and it grew up into an adult penguin. And that's basically the story. It's a very simple story. But of course, there's a deeper message here about toleration for different family groups, same-sex couples, single parents, stuff like that. And some people have found that offensive, and that's why they've sued or tried to get this book removed from various libraries and so forth. The book itself has been a huge bestseller. It's never gone out of print. It's almost 20 years old, and it's still selling quite well. The controversy kind of helps it out. And this little sticker up here at the top mentions that it won an honor award from the ASPCA, the Association for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. I didn't even know they had a book award, but they do. This one won one. And it's won some other awards as well. So again, it's a very nicely told story. Simple. It's a simple story, very nice illustrations. But, if you're a person who's offended by same-sex couples or the whole idea of same-sex couples, you're probably not going to like this book. There's nothing in here that advocates it. It just presents the facts of what happened. Now, after this book came out, the Roy and Silo, a few years later, split up. Penguins don't mate for life. They usually mate for 2 or 3 seasons at most, maybe sometimes only one. And one of the penguins mated with a female later and another one with another male. And they both since died, so they're not around anymore. But it's important not to anthropomorphize animals, especially birds like penguins. They're not humans. They don't have human emotions. Their behaviors are penguin behaviors, not human emotions, not human behaviors. And so it's important to distinguish whenever you're getting a book like this and reading to children. You need to make it clear that these are animals, not humans, and they don't behave like children tend to project their own personalities and human personalities onto animals. And it's important to make a distinction there. So they're pairing up was only temporary, but that's typical for penguin behavior. Any case, there's the book. The book is called And Tango Makes Three. The authors are Justin Richardson and Peter Parnell. This has been another Man and Gray book review. Thanks for watching.